Welcome back, everybody. In this video, our focus is going to be lesson number 14. And just like in lesson number 13, I'd like you to think about all of the things that we've gone over from lessons 9 through lesson 12. So making sure you're using the right fingers for the right hand, or for the right hand, fingers for the left hand. Of course, playing tosto at some point, ponticello at some point, relaxing, making sure there's no tension anywhere, and being aware and mindful of the string crossings that may take place. So let's go over the string crossings, because I think that's going to be where most of the difficulty lies. In measures 1 and measure 5, we have the same thing, and the string crossings are actually going to be the same as they were in lesson 13 and I think 12 even, where we have a note being played on the 3rd string with our middle finger, followed by a note being played on the 2nd string with our index finger, and we have that sort of backwards positioning, I guess, with our fingers. So just make sure you practice 3rd string, 2nd string, because that's going to be practicing that awkward string crossing. I, M, I, N, I, M, I, N. On measure 3, we have another string crossing, and it happens, I believe, on the first 2 notes. Yeah, we have a B being played with our index finger, followed by an A being played with our middle finger. It's the same thing. It just happens in the beginning as opposed to somewhere in the middle or the end of the measure. So now we have I, M, I, and actually, this might be kind of confusing. So let's go over this a couple of times. We have index on the 2nd string, middle on the 3rd, index on the 3rd, middle on the 2nd. This would be a good measure to practice as open strings for sure. I, M, I, M, and you would repeat that. I, M, I, M. That's definitely something you should be practicing before going through the lesson in its entirety. Lesson 5 is the same as lesson 1, and then on measure 5 is the same as measure 1, and then measure 7 we have another string crossing. Let's see, we have B, D, C, and A. There it is right there, C to A. C is going to be played with our index finger. A will be played with our middle finger. And open strings, it'll just be 2nd string, 2nd string, 2nd string, 3rd string. Again, eliminating the need for our left hand and isolating the right hand. I, N, I, N. A couple more times. I, M, I, N. Well, just that one time. I think I get the point across from there. All right, now let's go ahead with some practice. Hopefully you pause the video, practice it a couple of times. With some practice now, let's go ahead and play lesson 14. We'll play it twice. From beginning to end, we'll go from tosto to ponticello to continue to practice that motion. And then the second time, we'll go from ponticello to tosto. On my count, lesson number 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's your string crossing. 2, 3, 4, and 1. Moving your hand. 2, 3. Make sure you're relaxed. 1, 2. You're playing more ponticello. Nice and ponticello, but still relaxed. Another string crossing. 2, 3, 4. At the end there, my nail actually got caught, which is why I played that. There's a little bit of a delay between the second to last note and that last note. One more time. Now we're going to be playing ponticello first, working our way back to tosto, being mindful of keeping your arm as a single unit and not creating any sort of tension within our bodies, and being mindful of everything else, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Move your hand over. 2, 3, 4. Notice the difference in sound. Keep your hand relaxed. Here comes another string crossing right here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and stop. And that concludes lesson number 14. I'll see you all in lesson number 15.